Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hybridicious episode 10. For today's episode, I have decided to go with the 3-4-3 formation, as in my opinion, it is one of the most overpowered formations when used correctly. So let us begin with the team introduction. In net, I decided to go with Caruso, mainly due to the fact that I required a French Liga 1 keeper who was able to retain the 9 chemistry but was also good in terms of value and performance. In game, he's 6'2", he has 80 diving and 86 reflexes. In addition, he also has the long throw trait, which was a big bonus considering he was able to get the ball into the midfield quickly and accurately. And the reason why this was such a great addition to the team is because it was oriented around the counterattack, so the faster I can distribute the ball, the faster I can get onto the counterattacks. Next, we move on to the defense, starting off with Sylvester, who is such an incredible player, so underrated. As you guys can see, great physical attributes, able to hold his pace with most attackers, 86 interceptions, but where he really shines is his defensive abilities, 87 marking and 89 stand tackle. Pair that with 84 aggression and medium work rates, and you have quite possibly one of the best destroyers for under 1,000 coins. And essentially, a destroyer is a player who stands a bit further than the back line, and that's mainly due to their defensive abilities, and you want that destroyer to be the first player to make contact with a defender, once again due to their stand tackle abilities. Next, we move on to the team of the season Mangala, who cost me 74,500 coins. In game, he has 81 acceleration, 82 sprint speed, and 88 strength, so obviously very good physical attributes, able to keep up with most players. He also has 80 or 96 aggression paired with medium-high work rates, and essentially that allows him to always get back on defense, whether it's counterattacks or whatnot. But whenever there was a player in his radius, he would get really aggressive. He would utilize that strength and stand tackle and dispossess the opposition. And then we finish off the defense with Sacco, who is another incredible defender. I opted not to get the Team of the Season card, as I felt that the regular card was really good and I couldn't see a possible upgrade. He has great physical attributes with 77 acceleration and 76 sprint speed, and he's another player just like Sacco with high aggression and medium-high work rates. So once again, he's always back on defense, but whenever there was a player in his kind of radius, he would get really aggressive and get the ball back. So next we move on to the midfield, starting off with the upgraded Candreva. And Candreva is a tremendous player in a sense that he's very well balanced. I decided to go with him because I liked his defensive and ball playing abilities. As you guys can see, 86 dribbling, 93 shot power, and 77 stand tackle, which are just a few of his really high rated stats, and it just goes to show you what a well-rounded player he really is. Right here, doing a great job defensively, clearing that header, and once again, a player who's a right middle, being able to tackle and head the ball and pass and retain possession is a huge bonus, especially in this formation, right there making a nice stand tackle and starting off a counterattack. So I didn't score too many goals, but overall he was a great player. And next we move on to Obi. And Obi was meant to be the defensive player of this team. Unfortunately, he has high work rates, which was somewhat of a nuisance as he tended to push forward a little too much for my liking. But overall, great physical attributes. 87 aggression, so he was always in the mix of the things, which means that he was always making stand tackles, interceptions, right there showing off with a very nice long pass, which leads to a nice chance. And of course, he was good in terms of defense, and his shooting abilities are pretty good as well. The only downfall was his 2-star weak foot, so that's something you have to watch out for. And then we finish off the center mids with Lucho Gonzalez, the inform, who cost me 12,500 coins. And overall, he's a pretty good player, medium work rate, so he's tended to stay in the middle of the pitch. And his real attribute that really stood out for me was his passing. As you guys can see, 87 vision, 89 long pass, and 91 short pass. And his responsibility was to retain possession and, of course, distribute the ball when necessary. He also has a very good long shot. Unfortunately, I couldn't score any long shots with him. But for around discard price, as far as informs go, I would definitely recommend him. And we finish off the midfield with Piatti. And Piatti is a very good player in a sense that he's small, he's agile, great balance, great acceleration, and very solid dribbling. His only downfall is his medium-high work rates. So I decided to work around that and put him into a new role, a role which I haven't really tried this year, and that's this deep lying distributor. So he'd always get back on defense with his work rates, and whenever someone got the ball, let's say Sacco, the ball would go to Piatti, and I would utilize his dribbling and his balance to get the ball up the field, considering he's a very hard player to tackle and also a very fun player to skill with, considering he has 4-star skill moves. So next, we move on to the left wing with Lavezzi, and Lavezzi is a tremendous player. High-low work rates, 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, crazy physical attributes, as you guys can see, 96 acceleration, 93 sprint speed, 97 agility. Pair that agility with his 93 dribbling, and you have quite possibly one of the best players to dribble with as far as non-informs go. Of course, he has 4-star skills, so it's very fun to skill with. The only downfall is the fact that he was downgraded from 5 skills. If you can imagine him with 5-star skill moves, I would argue him to be one of the best skillers in the game. Unfortunately, he did receive that downgrade. Overall, a very solid player. I actually scored quite a bit of goals with him, although I can't locate them on my computer, so this is all you're going to see in terms of Lavezzi. Next, we move on to the right side with Victor Moses, who is another high-low winger with 4-star skills and 4-star weak foot. And he was the gem of the team. I didn't really expect him to play as good as Lavezzi, but in certain games he actually played better than Lavezzi. And I think this was due to his positioning and, of course, his physical and his dribbling attributes, as he's a very fast player, very strong as well with 77 strength. So he's able to hold his own against most fullbacks, which he would encounter as a right wing, hence the reason I went with the 3-4-3 as opposed to the 3-4-2-1, right here with a very nice finish. And as I mentioned, he was a very good dribbler, very solid in terms of his physical attributes, and in certain games he actually felt more involved and more aggressive than Lavezzi, which was just such a surprise considering his stats are significantly worse. So overall, I would definitely recommend Moses for any Barclays Premier League team or any budget hybrid. Next, or finally, we finish off with Fernando Torres, one of my favorite strikers on Ultimate Team, considering he's relatively cheap. You can get him for under 5,000 coins. Of course, another player with high-low work rates. 6 foot, so he's definitely a presence in the middle. 83 acceleration, 85 sprint speed, and 85 agility. Pair that agility with 85 dribbling, and of course he has 90 finishing and 89 shot power. And as I always mention, shot power is a huge factor when it comes to finishing. But once again, just like Lavezzi, I can't locate the files with all the goals, so that's as much as you're going to get from Torres. But overall, a very fun player to use, and of course he has those 4-star skill moves combined with his physical attributes. So overall, this team was very good. As I mentioned, the defense was extremely overpowered, and the entire front three had high-low work rates. I would definitely have to recommend this team as it's relatively cheap and very fun to play with. So moving on to the goals at the end of the episode, this is something that's going to be new to this format. I had tons of questions asking why I got rid of the goals at the end of the episode, and I've decided to bring them back. So what I'm going to do is when I introduce the players individually, I'll try to keep it as secretive as possible. I'll try to only focus on that one player without giving away any other players, so I do keep that element of suspense. And that's going to be pretty much the end of the episode. I do have some other pointers which I want to add. If you guys are interested in more prices, maybe the stats, I will leave a foothead link down below. There you can check out work rates, you can check out stats. Although I should mention that the foothead stats aren't accurate as they're based on head-to-head. And Ultimate Team has usually a 3 to 4 stat increase for every category, considering chemistry and morale. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would really appreciate a like. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, please do, as I do announce episodes and other things of that nature. If you want to ask me a question or contact me, Twitter is definitely the best option. And as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.